Hey everyone, it's Sarah, registerednursern.com, and in this video I'm going to go over my skincare routine. I've had a lot of viewers ask me to make this video and share my tips on how I care for my skin, so in this video I'm going to do that. So like most people, I have struggled with breakouts on and off, and I actually struggled with it worse during my early to mid 20s. I would get these really bad pimples on my forehead and really large painful ones along my jaw. But now it's really decreased and I don't struggle with them as much, but I do occasionally have a breakout or a pimple here and there. But looking back at it, I can find out why it happened. So what I want to do is I want to share with you what I've learned over the years that has helped me. Number one, products can be helpful, and currently I'm not using a lot of products, but whenever I did struggle with those on and off breakouts, I did use products to help clear them up. And some things I would use Proactive, but the generic form of it was from a Walmart by Equate, worked great and would help knock out those breakouts that I would have, but I wouldn't want to use those over long term on my face, but they worked whenever I needed them. I also used astringents to help remove oil and dirt like sea breeze, but I noticed after using those after a while they dried out my face, and whenever you have dry skin, that's just a great area for bacteria to get in and cause zits. So I don't really use that anymore. I've also used like Clearasil to help clear up breakouts, but again, the generic form of Proactive worked the best for me. So even though I'm not really using those products right now, even though they were great for my face, like I said, it's been several years since I've used them, what I use currently is, number one, whenever I wear makeup, I use a makeup remover cloth. And I use the Equate brand from Walmart. And what it does is it helps remove all of my makeup, including my eye makeup, the foundation, everything. And those things are great. Whenever I discovered makeup cloths, I was like, this is amazing because it just helps remove everything. And I really like that particular brand because some brands I have used, they'll cause irritation to my face and make it red and dry it out. Those particular ones don't do that to my face, so I like those. Another thing I use on my face to wash it is just a basic bar soap. Now, over the years, I have used like various face washes, but I noticed that they really dry out my skin. But I've used Dove, and currently right now I'm using Zest, and it has like these coconut moisturizers in it, and it works great. And I'm not like a fanatic about washing my face like so many times a day all the time, because actually I have found with my skin, if I wash it every single day, it will get really dry and will not look good. So of course I wash it in the shower when I take a shower, or if I've had like a day where I've just been really hot and sweaty, I will wash it. But then every time after I wash it, I always moisturize. And I think that plays a big role in my skincare routine, because if I don't moisturize my skin, it doesn't look good and zits can form. And the type of lotion I use is called Use, and this is really the best lotion I have found over this past several years, because number one, I like that it doesn't form zits on my face. A lot of lotions I've used in the past have done that, or they've had like a fragrance on them that is just really overpowering that I can smell all day. And it's a great lotion if you have eczema, and it's Eucerin Calming Cream, Skin Calming Cream, and a lot of dermatologists recommend it for people who have a lot of skin issues. Number two, another thing that really helped me was just getting older, because whenever I was younger, it seemed like I suffered from those breakouts, but as I've aged, they just don't happen as much. And I think another thing that played a role in that was having a child. About 4 years ago, I had my son, and I noticed maybe it helped my hormones stabilize. I'm not for sure, but I've noticed that especially those hormonal type breakouts just don't happen as much. So age and having a son has really helped my skin. Number three, one of the biggest things, I think really one of the most important things for my skincare routine is my diet, because I have noticed that whenever I cut out certain foods from my diet, my skin looks better, I get less breakouts, and I overall feel better. And the reason I even stumbled onto this was because my husband has a lot of food allergies, and he did this like elimination diet where he cut out all these high allergen foods from his diet, and it helped him. And I was like looking at myself, I was like, well, I have these skin rashes on my hand, which turns out to be eczema. We get it on my eyelids. I would have a lot of heartburn, even gallbladder pain, and GI issues, and of course the breakout. I was like, well, I'm going to try to cut out things that are high allergen. So I cut out eggs, wheat, dairy, and nuts, which it was really hard at first because I love that stuff. Today I still love that stuff. And I didn't really notice the results till about a couple months, but I noticed that my skin wasn't even breaking out at all. It actually was glowing and looking better. Wasn't getting the gallbladder pain, the heartburn, and GI issues. And I noticed I was doing better once I cut out those foods. So what I currently eat is like things like chicken and turkey. Those are like really my main meats. And I do eat red meat occasionally, like a good steak. And I eat lots of fruits and vegetables and white rice and things like that. Now, I have noticed that if I do go back to those allergens I just mentioned, or because I'm just want it because I'm having a stressful day and it's just like a comfort for me, which I shouldn't go back to it, but I do sometimes. Or if it's hidden in a food that I didn't know it was in there, I will start feeling bad again. My skin will start breaking out. So those are definitely a trigger for me. There's definitely a correlation there. Number 4, and this point really ties back to what we were just talking about with the diet, is that I use daily probiotics. And currently I'm using Culturelle, but I've also used Digestive Advantage. And I noticed that since I have been using these, I feel better and my skin is definitely a lot better. And there's this interesting study that I want to share with you, and it's by the International Journal of Women's Dermatology, and it's talking about probiotics and the treatment with acne and other things like that. And in its results, it found this. It says, and I quote, "Early studies suggest that oral and topical probiotics hold potential in the treatment of acne as well as in photoprotection and slowing the signs of aging skin." So taking the probiotics daily and following my specific diet has really been the biggest game changer with my skin quality and has helped improve it. Number 5, physical exercise. I always try to make time to exercise weekly, like 30 minutes of cardio at least 3 to 4 times a week. I'm not perfect on that because life happens and I get tired and can't do it. But I have noticed that exercising regularly, I have more energy, I feel better, and I think it just helps keep my stress level down, which is another thing that can play a role in breakouts. So I always try to do that. And finally, number 6, I try to avoid like any type of toxic substances going inside of my body. So the only thing I take is like a multivitamin with calcium, vitamin D, because I am intolerant to dairy and I don't get a lot of that from foods compared to someone who can eat dairy. So I take that to keep my levels good. But I try to maintain a healthy lifestyle. I don't drink, smoke, use recreational drugs. And I think that that plays a big role in your overall health and your skincare health as well. Okay, so that is an overall in-depth review of what I do for my skincare, and I hope that that helps some of you all out there. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more videos.